Damian Lillard is the best point guard in the NBA. Stephen Curry will have a chance to reclaim his throne next year. Dame is one of the greatest scoring point guards of all time, and all-time competitor.
See these two, man. Come on, man. You know why they're laughing? Come on, man. Because they would 30. Come on, man.
So, Damian Lillard is currently a walking fireball in the bubble. He's led the Blazers to the playoffs by putting up one of the most ridiculous stretches that I've ever seen. 45 points, 51 points, 61 points, 42 points, and then 31 points in the play-in game against Memphis. Throughout the stretch, he's also been making some of the most ridiculous shots that I've ever seen, which is saying something because I'm a Steph Curry fan and a Kobe fan, and it's been really amazing to watch. Unfortunately, we have yet another debate going on right now. Has Damian Lillard surpassed Steph Curry? And it's not just a one-off thing, like the tweet at the start of the video. You can see here, this is actually something that people are running with. And there are so many more that I didn't even bother to put in the video. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because once again, people have forgotten just how good Steph Curry actually is. We're going to talk about this narrative, if there's any truth to it, and we're going to look at their matchups to see if this can actually be an argument. But before we begin, if you're new here, I'm Double D. I'm a huge basketball fan. I make NBA videos here on YouTube. So if you're also an NBA fan, or just a basketball fan in general, feel free to hit the sub button, and click the bell to be notified when I upload more videos just like this one. Alright, let's get into the video. So, I just want to say that I sort of understand the people making these takes because, we tend to react and form an opinion based off of what we see right in front of us, which has been Damian Lillard for the last week and a half. And given that Steph Curry has only played 5 games this season, we haven't seen him all that much since last year's finals. He also noticed how I said finals, right? Let's keep going. The whole concept of this comparison is based on the fact that him and Steph are both point guards, they're both the leaders of their teams, they both shoot a lot of threes, and they can both shoot from 40 feet out. And so we can see where the connections are being made. But that's about where the comparison ends. Because what it doesn't take into account is 1, the difference in efficiency between them, 2, the fact that Dame didn't start expanding his range until Steph Curry started shooting from the logo, and 3, the results of the 2 different playstyles. Let's talk about the efficiency. Damian Lillard shoots 37.3% from 3 in his career. Steph Curry shoots 43.5% from 3 for his career. I just want to put that into perspective. Steph Curry's 3-point percentage is only 0.2% lower than Damian Lillard's total field goal percentage, counting other shots like layups, dunks, all that. Steph Curry's best 3-point shooting season is 45.5%, and his lowest is 41.1%. This is excluding the season because he's only played 5 games. Damian Lillard's best 3-point shooting season is 40.1%, which means that his best shooting year isn't even as good as Steph's worst. It is also worth noting that Steph has only shot below 40% from 3 in 1 season for his career, that would be this season, while Damian Lillard has only shot above 40% once in his career, this season as well. So that was for the people that want to go and say that Dame pulling from here means that he's a better shooter than Steph, which I have been seeing people say that, by the way. Believe it or not. But the deep 3 shooting is what we're going to talk about next. So Damian Lillard this season shot 39.8% from between 30 and 35 feet, which is the largest sample size of his career. And that's pretty impressive. But Steph Curry is so far ahead of Damian Lillard from that range that it doesn't even make sense to put them in the same conversation. I'll just let Stephen A. Smith take over for this one.
Between 30 and 35 feet. The NBA makes 35% of its threes overall and 22% from between 30 and 35 feet. Steph Curry shoots 54% from threes between 30 and 35 feet. 54%. That means more than 1 out of every 2 shots he takes from that distance, he makes.
And so, yeah. Steph Curry has a 14% gap on Damian Lillard from that distance. That doesn't even make sense. And so that's out of the way. Now, some would argue that Dame is the better finisher at the rim. So let's take a look at that. Dame for his career shoots 56.7% on shots from 0 to 3 feet from the basket, which is pretty good. Steph Curry for his career shoots 64.6% on shots from 0 to 3 feet. So really the only thing that he has on Steph in this category is that he can dunk more consistently. In terms of other categories, blocks are irrelevant here, neither of them are shot blocking guards. Steph Curry leads him in steals, 1.7 to 1.0 favoring Steph. Assists is essentially the same, 6.5 to 6.6, but all that's for regular season. The playoffs is where we'll see that this conversation isn't really worth being had at all. Damian Lillard in the playoffs averages 24.8 points, 4.6 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 1.3 steals. Steph Curry averages 26.5 points, 5.4 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.6 steals. So Steph beats him out in every category here. But this is where they're set apart. Dame shoots 40.6% overall, 35.3% from 3, and 87% on free throws. Steph Curry in the playoffs shoots 45% overall, 40.1% from 3, and 90.6% on free throws. Okay, well, you might say, well, Dame is the better clutch performer, right? Dame is in fact better. That's not slander towards Steph. He's great, greatest shooter ever. Not too much better than Dame, though.
Okay.
And Dame is a true dog. He's built different, whatever that means. He hits that shot game 6 to keep from a game 7. Per usual, Steph falls short in the most intense moments. Okay, well, let's see how true that really is. So here are both of their clutch stats in the playoffs, which, of course, like always, is defined by the last 5 minutes with the score within 5 points. See if you can guess which player is which. I'll give you a few seconds. Yep, Steph Curry beats Lillard in the clutch by 5% overall, 14% on threes, and 1.5% on free throws. Now you might be thinking, well, Lillard has 2 series clinching buzzer beaters, so how do they do in shots like that? Well, Damian Lillard in the last 24 seconds, on game tying and go ahead shots, shoots 3 for 13. Steph Curry shoots 4 for 14, which not too big of a difference, but still a difference. Which, that's really telling, because people like to say that Dame is more clutch because of those 2 shots, but outside of that, we can see that he really hasn't been too great. And that's putting it very lightly. Which you could also say the same about his playoff performances, because outside of that 50-point game against OKC, you really can't think of that many games where Dame just flat out took over. Dame has only played in 1 Game 7, and in that game he shot 3 for 17 overall and 2 for 9 from 3. And the only reason they didn't get blown out was because CJ stepped up and scored 37 points. Out of Steph's 4 Game 7s, the only one of them that's even remotely close to that is Game 7 against Cleveland in 2016, where he shot 6 for 19 and scored 17 points. Other than that, Steph has been surprisingly great in Game 7s. Well, to the media it's probably surprising, but anyway... In elimination games overall, Damian Lillard averages 21.4 points and shoots 42.2% overall and 27.7% from 3. Steph Curry in elimination games averages 27.5 points and shoots 42.8% overall and 37.5% from 3. Now, I purposely waited until this point in the video to bring up the head-to-head matchups in the playoffs. Mainly the fact that Damian Lillard has never beaten the Warriors while Steph Curry was on the floor. He is 0-10 against Steph Curry in playoff games. Now, you may throw Kevin Durant in my face here, but KD has only played in 2 out of those 10 games. So actually, he's 0-8 against Steph Curry in the playoffs. 0-8, that's ironic. But the real problem comes when we look at how they each performed in these games. Because in these games, Steph Curry averaged 33.4 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 7.4 assists, and shot 47% overall, 41.4% from 3, and 91.3% on free throws. Damian Lillard in these same games averages 26.4 points, 5 rebounds, and 6.4 assists, and shot 38% overall, 31.3% from 3, and 91.1% on free throws. This includes last year's Western Conference Finals, which, again, I can't believe doesn't get talked about more often, because Steph Curry averaged 36.5 points and shot 47%, while Dame in this series averaged 22.3 points and shot 37%. For those of you saying, well, Steph's team was better, of course. Here are the final scores of every game in that series. And now, here are the final scores if we take away both Damian Lillard's and Steph Curry's points in every game. I haven't even mentioned that the Blazers held a 17-point lead in Game 2, an 18-point lead in Game 3, and another 17-point lead in Game 4, and they lost all 3 of those games. And with all that said, we haven't even talked about the accomplishments yet, which, according to this guy, are overrated now. Steph has 2 MVPs to Dame's 0. He has 1 scoring title to Dame's 0, a steals title to Dame's 0, he has 6 All-Star appearances to Dame's 5, he has 6 All-NBA selections to Dame's 4, he has 3 All-NBA first teams to Dame's 1, and he has 3 rings to Dame's 0. End the video, man. Please stop making these takes in the heat of the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.